Oh, it's cold out there. Mr. Edwards? Oh, hello there. I'm Mr. Perkins, the engine driver. I thought Mr. Edwards would be here. He's the signalman. This is his signal box. He's probably gone to get some more coal. Oh, you don't want to run out of coal on a day like this. Oh, that reminds me of a story about Henry. Henry was a different shape when he came to the island, and he needed special coal. But that's all changed after a bit of a mishap. Now, let's see. Here we are. The Flying Kipper. One winter evening, Henry's driver told him they had to be up early in the morning to pull the Flying Kipper. That's the train that collects the fish from the harbour. Don't tell Gordon, said Henry's driver. If we pull the Kipper nicely, the Fat Controller might let us pull the express. Hurrah! Cried Henry. At the docks, Henry was ready at 5 o'clock. There was snow and frost. Fishermen were loading their fish onto the Flying Kipper. The guard showed his green lamp, and the Flying Kipper was ready to go. Henry whooshed under bridges and clattered through stations. Then he saw a yellow signal up ahead. Caution, thought Henry. But the home signal was down, and that meant all clear. Henry couldn't know that the points were frozen up ahead. Oh no, Henry had better be careful. A goods train was waiting in a siding to let the Flying Kipper pass. The driver and fireman were drinking cocoa in the brake van. The Kipper is due, said the guard. Who cares, said the fireman. This is good cocoa. The men got out just in time as Henry rushed onto the siding. He tried to stop, but his wheels slipped on the icy rails. There was a sudden crash, and Henry sprawled on his side. Dearie me, luckily nobody was hurt. The signal was down, sir, explained Henry when the Fat Controller came to see him. Cheer up, Henry, the Fat Controller said. It wasn't your fault. Ice and snow caused the accident. Henry was sent to Crewe to be repaired, where they gave him a new shape and a larger firebox, which meant Henry could use ordinary coal. When he came back, Henry felt like a different engine. The people at the station gave him 3 cheers, and he pulled the express so well that Gordon was jealous. Ah, but that's a different story. So, that's how Henry came to use ordinary coal. I hope Mr. Edwards is out getting us some ordinary coal too. In the meantime, I shall just look after his fire until he gets back. Oh, hello again. I was just reading some of the mail. We get lots of mail here on the railway. I've got a letter here from a Mr. Nakamura. He lives in Japan. He wants to know something about the history of Sodo. So I thought he might like this postcard of Ulfstead Castle. It's one of Sodo's most famous landmarks. Dear Mr. Nakamura, thank you for your letter. I thought I would tell you about Ulfstead Castle. There are lots of castles on Sodor, but Ulfstead Castle is the most famous because that's where King Godred lived. It was a long time ago, mind you, a time of knights in shining armour. There were no railways, so if you needed to get somewhere quickly, you had to use a horse. Ulfstead Castle is on the Earl of Sodor's estate, but it had fallen into ruin until the Earl decided to restore it to its former glory. It was a big construction job, but Thomas and his friends all helped. They brought stone and other materials to rebuild the castle walls. And when it was finished, they brought suits of armour and other exhibits for the Earl's medieval collection. Millie, the Earl's private engine, has worked on the estate railway for many years, carrying goods and guests about the grounds. But the Earl has another engine too, a Stephenson's rocket, called Stephen, one of the earliest steam engines ever built. Many of the visitors to Ulfstead Castle come just to see Stephen. So whether you like steam engines, suits of armour, or just beautiful scenery, You should definitely visit Ulfstead Castle if you ever come to the island of Sodor. Yours kindly, Mr. Perkins. There. Now I'll just put a stamp on this. There, and pop it in the mailbag. It's still snowing out there. I better wrap up warm. Don't you forget to wrap up warm too. I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.